This needs to be addressed for the greater good of the city and for these people. They need mental health care. They need addiction care. It's a real problem that needs to be addressed. You can't just leave them out in the street and let them do whatever they want and become a hazard for everybody else. Then it makes the city kind of fucked up.
Well, I don't know when you speak it sounds like more of a political choice.
No.
Someone's saying, well, it sounds like you're saying they're being, paid to shit on the streets and
I'm not saying
become
they're
mentally ill.
Paid to shit on the streets. They
I always
are
felt like
mentally
mental
ill.
illness happened first before living on the street.
Unquestionably. And it's all during the Reagan administration when they opened up the mental health institutes and just let people out in the streets.
Well, it started before that in New York. And that was my experience in New York was like Rockefeller, way back when, and I could be wrong, but this is how it was attributed, sort of closed up the mental health hospitals and pushed these many, many, many people out on the streets.
Yeah.
That had nowhere to go, and it wasn't a poverty situation, although it looks like it when you look at it. It's really a mental health situation, and a great number of these people have no interest in going into a place.
Right.
They would just as soon live on the street. Their life is like an interior monologue that they can't control, and living in a home is no different than living on the street. The thing is still going on. The conversation is still going on inside the brain.
But there has to be a solution for it.
Well, okay, but so I don't disagree that there has to be a solution, but I don't think that people are. This is sort of like where, I'd like to think about, let's not talk politics. Let's agree on what we can agree on. So that solution is like, this is where the great minds of California or the United States need to come together and say, okay, why don't we solve these problems that are common to every state has a city that has X number of people living on the street, whether it's Yankton, whether it's, Minneapolis, whether it's, Louisville, whatever. Everyone's got like a street scene situation that's rough like that. And it's hard to say, you say there's got to be a solution. Where's that going to come from? And who's going to believe it if it comes from this direction or that direction or this side or that side? How do you like evaporate the walls of separation and say, like, how do we get the right people with the right minds to solve these questions? These are real things, and people argue about them. You and I are not arguing, but we're talking about it.
Yeah. And
neither one of us are sleeping on the street.
Right.
We both feel compassion for it, empathy for it. But how do you get people that are far removed, and we could say we're far removed from it, to like allow the solution to take place
from one side or the other?
From one side, any side. Who gives a damn who's got it right?
Well, it has to be a completely bipartisan thing. We have to look at it in terms of the health of human beings in our community, right? This country is supposed to be our community. These people that are on the street, they are sad, sick people in our community. And some real effort has to be taken to try to change that instead of just enable them to keep doing it. That's all I'm saying. I just don't think that the solution is let them camp wherever they want, let them shit in the streets.
There's no argument to what you're saying.
No,
there
I don't
is
think
no
you are
argument.
arguing.
So you were in this situation. You had this, people call it a platform or a place where you invite people to come here that can speak to lots of people.
Yeah.
How many people watch your show?
A lot.
So there's lots of people watching your show. And when there's people that make sense, you hear it. It rings a bell. It sounds like that. I wish I knew the answer to solving these things. And occasionally, like I say, you see people who are these problem solvers, and the problem solvers come. But people want to choose their own problem solver. It's I know.
There's also money in being a problem solver. That's the problem. One of the big parts of the problem in California in particular is that there's an enormous budget to deal with the homeless. So you have these people that work in these departments that are making $250,000 a year that are just working on the homeless problem, which keeps getting worse every year. There's no incentive to fix anything or change anything, and it's a bunch of bureaucracy. There's a lot of bullshit that gets involved in the business. A buddy of mine was a lawyer who went to San Francisco, and he was disturbed by it all. He was like, "This is so crazy. Like, what is missing? Do we need more funding?" And they're like, "No, and this guy explained to him, no, they literally have an incentive to keep the homeless problem. There's an enormous number of people that are making a fantastic living in dealing with the homeless
Who's
issue.
making money on the homeless?
Well, there's a giant list of people. We could pull it up if you want to say.
Well,
we don't need to call them out, but
I don't need to,
there's a bunch
just
of
tell me,
people.
like, who makes money on the homeless?
The people that are involved in these organizations that are dealing with the homeless, whether it's in Los Angeles or in San Francisco.
You mean, are they like government?
Yes,
people?
yeah,
They're all
it's government jobs.
or?
Yes, it's all funded by the state, and there's real jobs, like real money, and nothing gets done, nothing changes. In fact, it gets worse every year. Something needs to be done that shows results. Like, what is that? I think it's got to be compassionate. It's got to be something that both the left and the right can agree to.
So I'm trying to follow you.
Okay.
God knows I'm trying. So
Are you having a hard time?
So no, I think we were talking earlier about the agents versus the architects or something like that. You used a word that explained like the people who are like coming up with the sort of thing. It's like, and I was watching something, and I've really tried to avoid watching the news lately, but I saw someone talking about, and it was someone that works, and you say the word bureaucracy, and it's a loaded word, and we all hate bureaucracy. There's just a word of it.
Yeah.
Gives you like a creepy feeling.
Frustrating word.
Yeah. And so, it's like being on hold for Amtrak or whatever the hell it is, there's someone, oh, please, God, come back. Okay, so please, God, come back. And so the idea this person was talking about the cuts that are going to come and to talk about eliminating the bureaucracy. And I don't know what particular department this person was in or not.
That's not what this person was talking about.
But you were
you're
saying,
talking about a different person.
It's a different person. I don't know what your person is.
Okay.
This is my person.
Okay.
So my person is saying the bureaucracy is like, the bureaucracy gets sort of like fed from above somehow or other. It's fed by these people that are the architects of one side or the other. But the actual bureaucracy includes the people that can solve the problem. Like encased in this bureaucracy are people that can solve the problems. And that if you just sort of, I'm not saying this is the case, but if you sort of just like zip a bunch of the bureaucracy out, you run the risk of zipping out some of the people that actually have the brains to do the solutions. And what this person said was the solution to the bureaucracy is within the bureaucracy, that is finding the people that know what can be done, because they really do have the data. They really do work. They actually do show up for work.
The solution to homelessness. There is no solution to homelessness, because even if you are able to control the homelessness, another one's going to come in. There's going to be the next man up. That's what it's going to happen. So if you get one out of homeless, another one's going to come in. But that's how you start building, one at a time. It may seem as if you're not fixing the problem. But even if you get one person out of homelessness, you've done your job. And as far as Joe Rogan, like, he's rich. He doesn't care. He doesn't care at all. He's probably buying $3,000 meals for himself. He's never been down. I live in California. He's never been down to Skid Row. He may say he's been there, but he's never actually been there to see these people or interact with these people. So he's just talking from a distance. He's making most of this stuff up. He's trying to, as he says, people are making money. He's making money off of them as well. He's podcasting. We're all doing the same thing. But technically, there is no answer to homelessness. There is none. It's not going to ever go away. It's like jobs. You get a brand new car. Eventually, it's going to get old. You're going to have to get another car. But that's all jobs. All jobs do the same thing. You could throw money at it. Yeah, you could throw a boatload of money at it, and you're still going to have it. It's like crime. If you get the crime to zero in a certain county, you're not going to have cops. You still need cops. Like I said, every job is a job. Pretty much every job that's selling you something is a scam. Just being honest. I mean, they're selling you solar panels. It's a scam. You don't really need solar panels. You're paying for them. The person that's coming to your door is making money. their boss is making money, and the corporate suits are making money as well. And then the person getting them is saving money. Who's paying the bill? So that's a scam too. There's only real like services that help people, or like people, auto mechanics, people that come and, you know, they're repairing your washer and your dryer. They're plumbers. Those are real guys. But guys that are selling you insurance and they're selling you, it's all fake. Plus, here's another thing too. Homelessness is not just the big issue. They only count the people that live in the streets. There's actually people right now that actually have jobs. They have jobs, and they're sleeping in their car because their employers don't pay them enough. These big corporate greedy ass people don't pay a livable wage, so they have to live in their car. They're makeshifting their car. They're buying minivans and you know, little buses and making them into houses and sleeping in their car. Like, this is a real thing. So technically they're homeless too. They just got a job. They're just employed. That homelessness numbers is probably even bigger than what the people that are actually just living on the street. So anyways, that's my little 2 cents. Take it for what it is. Like, follow, subscribe, bang that notification. Let's go.